You watching Man Up, brought to you by Yace with Sean Roberts, CEO of Camp Nitty.
So we here with the CEO of Camp Nitty. You know what I'm saying? This is another Man Up episode, Yace Productions. Tell us, who we with today?
Sean Roberts. Everybody else just call me Nitty.
So can you tell us about, you know what I'm saying, what you rocking right now? It look like you're
that's
rocking.
my little merchandise, Camp Nitty apparel with the new elevation and new generation, because generations before us was street dudes, drug dealers, whatever. The new generation is to help these kids understand that they could be great at whatever they want to do, sports, rapping, anything they want to do, just stay out the streets.
So can you tell me why you dived into that aspect?
It comes with a lot of hurt that I've been growing up with. My first time losing somebody when I was 15, my friend Mr. A couple years later, a couple months after Big Baby passed away. Years later, my little cousin Butter passed away. My boy Blood Money passed away, and then 5 years ago, my big brother passed away. And once he kind of left the world, it was like, yo, you gotta do something crazy to keep all of these kids from being street dudes or whatever. Because I lost a lot of kids that I was training previously to street life, and they was catching bodies or they're dead. Some of them passed away, and I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm not with them every day. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Why they keep losing their lives or whatever? It's why they gotta keep going back to the statistics. So I just said, man, forget it. Every day of my life, no matter what I get to do, at least 1 hour or 2 hours out the day, I'm gonna train a kid or be with a kid just to show them a different aspect of life.
Now, people watching this may ask, you know, why he got that face paint on his face? So I know you get that question everywhere you go,
I get it every day.
all the time. But if people really knew why you had that, we're gonna let you explain it.
So I would say I'm in the war versus the streets, and how I looked into it, I started researching just people that's actually in the war and what do they bring. So every war person, they have to blend in. They have to put camouflage on their face. Some of them get like punched on or hit, and there's war wounds. So a lot of them, they put war wounds on their faces, period, just to look like it, or they put signs like the X is for a sniper. He's closing his eyes, and then there's a circle that comes over. That means he's a marksman. So I kind of liked how they did that, and I said, if I want to actually say that I'm going to war with these kids, and I want to give 100% into everything that I do. So I put the face paint on every day. There's times where I'm walking downtown and people's looking at me, jumping like, what are you? It's a war versus the streets. I'm like, I'm fully involved in this. I'm super dedicated in this. Like, I'm ready to take over and let these kids see greatness. And war wounds on me every day. Like, I love it. The kids are starting to love it. Like, they starting to see, like, man, he's there for us every day with this stuff. Like, let me give everything I got to him now, because he's really there for us.
So can you tell the people how old you are?
I'm 26.
You're 26 years old, and the way you speak, you know what I'm saying, highly of community and of the youth. That's what my purpose here with Man Up is. It's to show young males, may not even be just black males, just all males in general, that, you know what I'm saying, you can have a voice that's your true self, and then you can really make a change and a difference. It don't have to be negative, because based off of what, you know what I'm saying, the story that you just told us, you know what I'm saying, about the people that you lost in your life, you could have easily went to the streets, tried to get retaliation, whatever, jumped in the streets, did anything. You took that pain and the suffering and you put it into a positive way. Now you're giving back through, you know what I'm saying, the tragedies that came in your life, but you found light in that to give back to your community. And I think that's a testament to your character and to the type of person that you are overall, for you to be young and to make that decision that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to take that road, I'm going to take this road, and then show the people underneath me, you know, that's younger than me, like, you know what I'm saying, because I watch your story a lot, bro. I watch you grow from, like, you know what I'm saying, when you first started it, you know what I'm saying, to where you're at now. And I told that to Charlie, like, that's my cousin, so I watched him, like, from when he first started to where he at now. I'm like, y'all really, like, got an impact on these kids on the hill. And it's not just the hill, because it's like my nephew and my little nephew cousin from the north side be training up here with you, and I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah. And that's like, that's great, bro. And and like, if anybody got, you know what I'm saying, like you got to test them, like you said, with the war pain, with the war wounds, that's deep. And what I want to go to next is I want you to talk a bit more about, you know what I'm saying, what the community means to you, what the hill means to you.
The community is like, it's special to me. Like, I love being from the hill. Without the hill, there wouldn't be no me. Like, everything that I lost, my dad going to jail at 8, losing my brother, my mom's going through a divorce, like everything. And I had like great men inside this neighborhood that stepped up and looked after me, like my stepdad for sure. Mr. Porter, he played for Pitt basketball. Like, he really made me realize, like, yo, you could be somebody special. Like, I like everything about you. Like, you're funny, you're a cool kid, and don't be no follower. And then Mr. Clarence at Bammon's, like, those are dudes that, dang, I ain't related to none of them, but I look at them as like father figures, uncles. Like, them are some great dudes that what they was doing for the kids back in the day is what I'm doing for the kids today. Like, it's just special in the Hill District. I just love it. Like, I'm still on the Hill. I'm 26. I could have moved out, could have went overseas, played basketball, but it's something bigger than what I got going on. I wanted to just really change the hood, change everything about what we got here, then spread it out to the rest of Pittsburgh and possibly the rest of America.
See, what you're doing is trying to change the generation, a cultural change. You're trying to change the narrative of how people look at your community and how people look at the people from your community and, you know, what's being said. And I love the fact that it's a young person, because we get a lot of older people in the community to do activism and everything, but they can relate to a younger person. So, like, you'll respect the older person, listen to them, whatnot. But when you got a respect for a younger person and how the younger people got respect for you, that's huge, because a lot of people may look at you like, man, you same age as my older brother. Like, I ain't about to listen to him. Like, but it's like, you got the respect of the kids. And I told, you know what I'm saying, Charlie that when I had an interview with him, I'm like, y'all got the respect of these kids from teenagers all the way down to babies. So it's like, that's huge. And the impact that y'all have in y'all community is monumental. I don't know if you see what you're doing and understand, like, the impact that you have, but it's caused me to make this platform for people like you. Instead of just interviewing people and asking them, you know, hey, what do you do? How do you, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to show people that actually are doing something positive for the youth, and you know, that are actually in their communities, and they're not just saying, like, you know, I want to do things. They're actually doing things. And you are a person that's actually doing things. And one of my next questions was, you know, where do you see your brand at in 5 years? Because where you've come so far is amazing, but what do you see, like, what are your goals and your aspirations to go with Camp Nitty?
For the next 5 years, I kind of want to be all over now. Like, I want to be started off in Pittsburgh for sure and finish out with the rest of Pennsylvania and then go on to the rest of the world. Like, there's so many cities that's like terrible, like Baltimore kids. Some little kids don't got no future. They're 8 years old, 7 years old, and they're on the corner as a lookout instead of being in the classroom or doing anything. And I really want to change the statistics where kids aren't going to school and learn, and they're just cutting up in the classroom, not caring, just coming home just because they don't know their purpose in life. When they get older, I want them to see, like, you can't be one of those has-beens like, oh man, I should have did this, I should have did that. Ain't no more I should have did. We got to do it now, or we're just going to continue to be a statistic. So that's what I'm trying to do. I just got into the school board. I'm a substitute teacher, but I'm in the actual school now. So, like, I'm in this classroom every day and I'm showing kids, like, yo, just do your work, bring in your homework, pay attention to class. And, like, some of the kids that weren't as great are starting to come to school and really get 100% days or turning in their homework every day. Even if I got to just, like, bribe them, like, oh, I'm going to get you some candy if you bring in your homework. Whatever it takes, I'm going to make sure they all get it in, because, like, my platform is next 5 years, I want to be huge. Like, I want to have my own building. I want to have a team full of people where we meet at a dinner table or whatever, and we talk about you going to this school, you going to this school, you going to this school, and we can make sure that it's a bunch of men coming into these schools and really showing these kids what it is. Like, dog, we care about y'all so much. Like, it's time to ride. Let's go. Let's win this war. Like, please.
And you know, that's so crazy that you say that you're, you know, trying to get the kids, you know, involved with their homework and everything and schoolwork and everything, because if you look at it, most people might think like, oh, he's just training the kids, like he's just, you know, trying to get them ready for sports. But you taking the kids who may have had a broken home, who may be going through something that don't nobody know about, they may be struggling in school, you taking that time.
Yeah.
That's all kids need is time, individual time with somebody who really cares about them, because not every teacher cares.
Yeah.
Some teachers are just actually there for the check or where it may be. But like, for you to say, you know, I'm going to school as a substitute teacher, and I'm still going to care about these kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to make sure they get their homework in. That's big, man.
And like another thing too is like with the kids, like me being in the school, it's a lot of kids that's like they act bad, and the teachers be like, man, you might as well just leave him alone. He's bad. But then I literally take kids one-on-one sometimes, and we'll just walk the hallways. I mean, they all need a break, so we walk the hallways, we'll talk, and I don't get into their personal business or ask what's going on at home. The only thing I do is like I'll get down on my knee, like loosen them up, like stop with the attitude that they get, and I'll like really give them a hug, dap them up, and like show them like, bro, I love you so much. Like, you ain't gotta come to school and be angry. I know there's a lot of people that go through some rough times at home, but if you show them love, I watched it a lot of times just being in the school for only like 4 months. I watched it a lot of times where if you show a kid some love, how instantly that changes his whole mindset. Like, they give you love, they really look at you and be like, dang, I never had that before. Like, I never had nobody give me a hug ever. And it's like, that's what we need to start doing instead of sending them to the office or getting them suspended or calling their parents or whatever. Just, man, go show them some love and watch their whole mindset change.
That's true that you say that, because I had a teacher in high school, Mr. Jenkins, and he was like my only black teacher, and it was like, all right, somebody I can relate to. But he was so down to earth in the fact that he really wanted, you know what I'm saying, wanted me to succeed in school. It wasn't just like, I'm this black dude, you going, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really like took the time out. And then fast forward, I graduated in 2011. I just seen him a couple months ago. In the summertime, it's like, I thanked him. I'm like, yo, thank you for, you know what I'm saying, being on me like that, and pressuring me and making sure that, you know what I'm saying, I got all my work done and making sure that I can achieve the highest level that I can achieve. Because I look back at that, I'm like, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have the work ethic and everything that I have now. Because he the one that taught me how to conduct myself in interviews and how to, you know, do stuff with businesses and, you know, crunch numbers and stuff like that. So that's big, because you never know the impact. Like, it might seem small to you right now or whatever, but like years down the road, they're gonna remember like, yo, like, he really helped me. So right now we want to go into the other part. You know what I'm saying? We want to know more about Rashawn. You know what I'm saying? Tell us who you are outside of Camp Nitty. You know what I'm saying? Tell us some of your likes, your interests, and some of the things that you go through on a daily basis that not all the people may see whenever they see you as, you know what I'm saying, Camp Nitty.
Me, I just finished my basketball career. I was a 3-point fast student at Point Park. And it's crazy because in high school, I graduated with a 1.5 GPA. And when I came out of high school, all my teachers was like, they was talking down on me, laughing at me. I was telling people, yeah, I'm trying to go to this school, And my own classmates was laughing at me like, man, you ain't going nowhere, but look at your GPA. And I'm like, man, it ain't even about that. It ain't about where you started from, bro. It's where you want to be and where you going to finish at. So it's crazy. I went to CCAC played, Carlo played, and went to Point Park. And like, I became such a great student because I stopped making excuses and blaming everybody else for my troubles. And I'm just a motivational person. I'm not willing to take handouts from nobody. Like, I love working for everything that I get, and that's who I am. I love to work. I love to grind. Like, me putting my boys to work is stuff that I was doing when I turned 17. I really started training. Like, I started training every day. Like, I was waking up at 6 in the morning, running down Ammons, work out for 50 minutes, jog downtown so I could get to work, put on my suit, get to work. As soon as I get off work, I'll go up Ammons. I'll do a whole bunch of training by myself. As soon as Mr. Porter comes up in the building, I'm working out with him for 2 hours out of the day. As soon as he leaves and the building shuts down, I'm out in the back. I'm just shooting basketball, like just grinding, run home, eat, go to sleep, do the same thing the next day. Like, I've been motivated, grinding. Like, my whole life has been just what I'm doing right now. But now it ain't me training no more. I'm doing what I'm doing for everybody else.
You know, it's crazy you talking about that. Like, when you was running downtown, I worked at the same building that you worked at. So I used to remember, like, I would be driving on it, like, coming up, I forgot what street I'm coming up.
Bedford.
Everything. Coming up Bedford, I was like, yo, bro, running down. But about time I get to the job, he already there. So about time I park and get there, you done already got there changed. And then like you coming, like you running to work, like this is your daily grind.
Yeah.
Like how people wake up every day to eat cereal, whatever. Like I'm waking up and running to work because at the time you were playing basketball too. So it's like you training while you about to go to work. So it's a nonstop grind for you. So like you really about what you know what I'm saying, everything that you portray. You're like so. That's why we thank you for having you on Man Up, because you are what we really want to represent and what we want to put out there for people to see. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a young black man that's doing positive things with his life, and that he's doing these things with the youth, and that he's not, you know what I'm saying, using things that you went through as an excuse and as a crutch to do negative things. So I thank you for, you know what I'm saying, all you do with the community and everything. I just, you know what I'm saying, I hope that you continue to keep doing what you do, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is there anything else that you wanna dab into?
Man, just come join this war with me, everybody. If you watch this video, you loving what you seeing, man, come join this war with me. You can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Nitty training. Just hit me up. Come join this war, because we need these kids to stop doing what they're doing and really just become great. The only way to be great is to be great. So, rock with me.
Yeah, yeah.